Disturbing new details within a recent set of transcripts tied to the Delphi murders. The documents revealing yet another investigation tied to a social media account that's believed to have interacted with Libby German and Abby Williams just before they were brutally murdered in a small Indiana town in 2017. And tonight, we've learned that another young girl may have talked with the person behind that same profile, only she lived to tell police her story. NewsNation's Max Lewis has the latest.
According to the transcripts, a middle school-age girl in Galveston, Indiana, messaged the Anthony Shots account that she wanted to hook up after school. She said her parents wouldn't be home and shared her address. A day later, when she got off the bus, she saw a man in a ski mask peering into her bedroom window.
It doesn't look to me like there's proof for sure that he was the person peeping through the windows.
Police can't prove it was Keegan Kline peeping into that window, and he denied doing it, according to the transcripts. However, investigators say data shows Kline searched members of that girl's family on Facebook the day before the peeping incident. All of this happened just 3 days after Abby Williams and Libby German were murdered in Delphi.
When you're doing the investigation, again, you want the whole picture. You're finding the pieces of the puzzle that you fill in, and it slowly comes together into something that you can recognize.
Former FBI agent Doug Coons has not worked on this case, but has investigated many others. He says the transcripts have provided a lot of interesting but circumstantial information. While Keegan Kline and his father Tony Kline have been at the center of the Delphi investigation, Coons says the information found in these transcripts proves nothing.
All this stuff is great, but you still need that key piece that you take it to court, and then all that will matter.
Investigators eventually raided the Kline home in Peru nearly 2 weeks after the Delphi murders. That resulted in numerous child porn charges against Keegan Kline. Still, despite what transcripts show Keegan told a reporter, officials don't know if Tony Kline had access to that Anthony Shots account.
It seems to me like there's a lot of pieces around the periphery, but they're still looking for that one that goes in the middle.
Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee are the hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast, and they were the first to obtain these transcripts. They're both joining us live again tonight. Welcome back to both of you. So when you read these transcripts, what were your key takeaways?
It's such a horrifying transcript because it really ties this child sexual abuse materials case that Keegan Kline is facing to the Delphi murders. And it does that through the Anthony Shots account that Keegan Kline sort of had access to. So for the first time, we're really seeing the link between this Anthony Shots profile and the Delphi case that so many people are following and hoping for answers in.
But this is all circumstantial, right? If there was a smoking gun of hard evidence, wouldn't prosecutors have brought the charges?
They would. There's a very compelling web of circumstantial evidence, but we're still lacking that one piece of direct evidence that will put the phone in the hand of Keegan Kline or someone else that will prove that he was the one communicating with these girls and will prove beyond doubt that he was the one who arranged to meet with them that day.
So is he now trying to point the finger at his father?
That's a great question. His father does come up throughout this whole transcript, but I would say in the 2020 police interview, Keegan is very much not pointing the finger at his father. He's pointing the finger at a friend who he previously lived with. In the 2021 interview with the HLN reporter, he is more of wobbling on that. He might be saying, well, my dad might have been capable of this, but I don't think he did it. So you see a bit of a wavering in terms of that.
And that he had access to it. He said, my father, yes, I believe he had access to the account, right?
Yes, he says that oftentimes he and his father would share devices and that he would help his father online because his dad was a little bit less tech savvy.
And this is the first time we may be learning of these transcripts, but there's no new information here that investigators don't know about. So is it possible that they already ruled out this lead?
As of December 2021, when the HLN interview took place, Keegan Kline was at least under the impression that authorities believed that he had something to do with the Delphi case and that his father may have had something to do with the Delphi case. So that's pretty recent. And sources that we have tell us that the Kleins remain the focus of this investigation at this point.
So is there any evidence that ties Klein to the person outside the girl's window? And even if it was him peeping into the house, does that mean that he's a murderer of these other girls?
Well, the closest thing to direct evidence that ties him to that incident is that earlier that day he had communicated with the girl who was the victim of that incident and had gotten her address. And then shortly after that is when this Peeping Tom incident occurred. And it would seem to be pretty coincidental that someone just happened to go there to peep right after this person gave Tony Klein or Anthony Klein or Kagan Klein that address.
And basically what you're seeing is a pattern here, right? So when girls are communicating with this Anthony Schatz account, bad things are happening to them. And so police are going to be looking at who had access to that account.
Right. And are police any closer at this point to solving the murders of Abby and Livy? And have you learned anything new about the case since we spoke to you, aside from these transcripts?
Right. Yeah, we've been definitely continuing to follow up on the lead and speak to people who know the Kleins and know the family and are familiar with that. And I would say that we feel that the transcripts show that police are definitely on a certain path and seem to have an increasingly strong circumstantial case here. But I think time will tell how far along they are at this point.
Well, this is certainly a development that sheds light for all of us, and we appreciate your time tonight, Kevin, Anya. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.